Well, hello, my lovely, luscious lions. How are you, my gorgeous ones? Thank you so much for your patience. You are last, but certainly not least. You guys have a lot of stuff going on. So, welcome, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindy. I am the modern day spiritual advisor. I use multiple modalities, including tarot, astrology, holistic life coaching, spiritual advising, mediumship, all kinds of stuff to help you on your path. So I wanted to mention, because then I'll get sidetracked. I wanted to mention that I had brought that special of $60 tarot readings for 30 minutes. That is not a service I even offer, but I do that for my social media, for especially my YouTubers. I did that in October, had such a great response, thought I'd bring it back. I brought it back about 2 weeks ago. I was supposed to end it 2 weeks ago, thinking all the videos were going to be done. They are not. So I'm going to give you guys 24 hours. If you want to see me, I'm at yourindigopath2.com. You can order it there. Anything that I speak about in this video, I'm going to have the links in the description box down below or on the side of this video, because we're going to be talking about Chiron, the full moon, the new moon, and all kinds of stuff. One other thing I wanted to mention, because people keep having this question, is am I speaking from the ascending, the rising, which are the same thing, or the sun and the moon? So when I'm giving you the chart, I'm talking about your ascending, but you can look at it from your sun and your moon, because it's the same planet, same positions. It's just coming from a different aspect of you. Okay, I am going to do a video about the sun, the moon, the rising, and how that's different. I've mentioned it in other videos before. We do have this Jupiter going retrograde, so I have videos about that. You may want to look at that, because that has to do with the next 6 months. And I think that's it. Okay, so let's get started, Leo. Let's talk about you, right? Oh, speaking of, I'm going to have my apparel come out with t-shirts, caps, bags, cups, mugs, coffee mugs, and leggings, and all kinds of stuff. That is going to be coming out after retrograde, so either on the 15th, 16th, or 17th. Okay, so I've been busy working doing that as well. All right, so Leo, it just reminded me, because there's a shirt for you guys that I thought about that I did. Okay, I can't wait to show you guys. They're going to be really cool. Okay, so Leo, you have the North Node in your first house. This is you, your identity. The North Node is, I haven't spoken too much about the nodes, the North Node and the South Node, but the North Node is that thing that you're trying to attain, you're trying to understand. And so with it being in your first house, you have been really investigating your identity in this world, what you came here to do, what you want to do, how you want your life, the people around you. Like, this has been really going on. And now it's retrograde. So retrogrades always mean completions, ending, revising, editing, changing. That's what retrogrades are for. Okay, so you're retrograding, you're reassessing, you're revising, you're editing, you're completing some things, you're understanding some things, you're ending some things, right? All right, so you've got that house lit up or activated. Then you have your second, third, fourth, and then you have your fourth house lit up. So your fourth house is about your lineage. Your siblings could be involved here. This is the house where you understand that the home is where the heart is, right? Understanding how to love yourself, understanding why did I come here, and why is that my family, and why are those my siblings, and what does this all mean? Like, that's Jupiter and Scorpio, and Scorpio's been really having you dig deep about this and really trying to understand, you know, why have people hurt me? Why is it that I react this way? You know, things like that. And so it's retrograde as well. So then you have your fifth, and so you have your sixth house in Capricorn, and it's activated, like really activated. Your sixth house is about your daily activity, your health and well-being, how you sort of work your day, and how you take care of yourself. Saturn's in here, Mars is in here, and Pluto's in here. So there's some transformation going on. So you could be having changes in your daily life. You could be having changes in your health. Like, maybe you weren't taking care of yourself, Leo, and all of a sudden you find out something about yourself and you got to take care of yourself more. Or maybe you've been taking care of yourself and then you find that you've healed, Like, it can be either one, right? Saturn's having you work very hard in this. Saturn is saying, I have your hopes and dreams here. I have these things that you called. But you have to show me that you're responsible. You have to show me this is what you want. So you have to keep your eye on the prize. Saturn wants you working diligently. Capricorn is making sure that you're doing that. Capricorn is that energy, being very methodical, understanding the next 4 steps, not making a move until you really want to. That's Capricorn. Mars is that energy that's giving you passion and drive and understanding and vigor in this house. So this house, for you guys, you may have had a lot of energy in this house, in this area of your life, right? That's your day-to-day well-being, your day-to-day routine, and your well-being. Pluto wants to transform you. So during this month, they're going to be speaking to each other. They're going to come conjunct, which means they're going to have a close conversation about what's going on with you in this house, and you're going to transform and things are going to manifest. What happens is, when we work with Saturn brings us the most beautiful, huge gifts of manifestation, bigger than we thought. We just had to work hard for it, and then he blesses us even bigger than we thought. Okay, so you have that going on in your 6th house. Your 7th house is open, your 8th, but it's got your South Node in there. So right now, it may seem like things are just coming and going, like regular relationships, like you're used to doing, but you're really looking at what you want, right? How am I going to change this? Do I really want this? How come this always happens, right? And then you have your 8th house of other people's money and transformation and power. This is where you understand your power and just what you can do in this world. You've got Pisces and Neptune in here. Neptune wants to dissolve your identity where you want to have your identity, right? So let me say it this way, especially Leos, because there's a lot of Leos in the in the entertainment industry, or public figures, because you're really good at it. So Leo, so your identity, your self-identity, when you become famous or you become a public figure, you lose some of that identity, because for the bigger picture, for humanity, for pop culture, for society, right? So maybe you're going out there and you're speaking on big stages, and you're people see you a certain way, and you are that. You just have to lose some of your personal identity because it's for the bigger picture of you teaching people or motivating people or whatever it is that you're doing. That's just an example of Neptune wanting to sort of dissolve for society, for pop culture, for the bigger picture, for humanity, right? So that's been going on in your 8th house of other people's money, your 8th house of power. So maybe you were giving too much. Maybe you're understanding how to have that relationship between you, keeping your self-identity, and giving to the world. You've also had Chiron in here, where you had to understand, for a lot of you, I'm feeling this, that yes, I want to be out there and I want to give and I want to do, but at what cost for me? Like, I'm drained, I don't have myself anymore. Like, you were really having to investigate that. So I have a video on Chiron, how it works, what you're learning to do in it, how you're growing in it, and I'll put that at the end of this video. Now, Chiron's going to be moving into Aries, which is going to act very differently in Aries, and so I'm going to do a video series about that, but that won't be here on YouTube. That'll be on my website. So be sure to save my website. There's going to be a lot of astrology and tarot going on over there. So then your 9th house of belief systems. This is where you had understanding. Maybe a guru came in, maybe a teacher came in, maybe you had higher learning. This has been really prominent, having to revise because you had Mercury retrograde. We're going direct on the 15th, but Mercury is retrograde, so you're ending, you're completing. Maybe you just finished some schooling. Maybe you just finished I don't know, maybe just finished a certificate, maybe just finished something. Maybe you had to amend it, maybe you had to revise it, maybe it's been delayed. But on the 15th, when Mercury goes direct, everything is coming through that you've worked on. You also, in this house of your belief systems, have the sun, and you're going to have the moon here on the 17th and 18th and 19th, where you're going to have this full moon in Aries. This new moon in Aries and Uranus, okay? Aries is about new beginnings. Full moon is about new beginnings and manifestations and working in that. The sun wants to bring light to the situations, and Uranus wants to shock and awe. Shock and awe can be many things. It wants to shock and awe you so that it can liberate you, so that you can feel better. But sometimes we don't want to look at the stuff that we know to be true, right? Because we got other things we got to do, or we tell ourselves that. So if you've been working in this understanding, been working in this belief system, been working and being true to yourself, coming from your heart, you always come from your heart, but coming from your heart to know your own value, to understand you, right? Then the shock and awe could be something great. Somebody, you get a new understanding about your belief and understand that you are worthy, that your self-worth is great, that you can be valued, that you are valued, right? So Uranus shocks and awes to liberate you and make you feel better. Okay, so right now I have this on the 17th. So the 17th of April, this is when Venus is in Taurus in your 10th house. So money's coming in, love, opportunity, beauty, luck. So your 10th house is about your career. Your 10th house is about your reputation. Your 10th house is about what you do in this world, how you do this, right? And so you guys are really good about 10th house stuff, about your career, your reputation, stuff like that. But Venus being in there with Taurus means more money. It means maybe you got a raise, or maybe your investment came through, or maybe you had the opportunity to invest in something bigger. Like something's going on in this house. And when on the 17th, when the new moon goes with Venus and conjuncts and they're talking, something's going to come through that's emotionally fulfilling to you. Okay, so you have these houses activated. Let's go over a little bit about what's going on. So again, we talked about Mercury going direct, all these delays, all these revising, all this stuff that's going to be coming through from that point on. Then the 17th, the switches this day. This is a powerful day, because you can see we have the new moon in Aries. We're going to have the new moon in Aries, which is new beginnings, new understandings for you. Then we have Saturn going retrograde. This is when Saturn goes retrograde. They're really going to be speaking. They're going to go he's going to go retrograde till September 6th. He's really making sure you want what you want and you're able to stand in that, right? Then the sun and the moon are going to conjunct. This something big is going to be like found, or clarity going on. Something's going to happen where it shocks and awes you. Then Chiron is going to go into Aries. And again, it's going to act very differently, but it's going to be in your belief system. Okay? And this is the thing with you guys in the belief system in Chiron. It could be, I believe this because I was raised to believe this, but now I no longer believe this. And why is that so? Right? Like you could be going through that, and that's Chiron, the wounded healer. He's trying to help you come to terms of the person that you are, right? You need to watch that video. It's a really good video. So Uranus and the sun will exact. So on the 22nd, Saturn and Pluto are going to conjunct. So on the 19th, Pluto is going to retrograde. So you're going to have Pluto and Saturn retrograding. This is when they speak to each other on the 22nd. Something's coming through there. Something is going to be transformed there. Something is going to help you have your power back in this house. And again, this is in your 6th house of daily activity and your health. And a lot of you, I think it's about your health. So then on the 24th, Venus is going to move into Gemini. Let me move that. So on the 24th, Venus is moving into Gemini. Venus will move into Gemini on the 24th. It's going to behave differently than it did on... So this is the thing. If you're working on something with Venus in your 10th house, the 11th house is the house of gains. So this is where your money comes through. This is where your luck comes through. This is where love can come through, right? This is expanding your network, expanding your social group, expanding your daily activities, right, from this house, right? Remember, because Saturn and Pluto are going to transform you. When Pluto goes and Mars go exact here, something is coming through to transform you, okay, to have you have a different understanding. So Mars and Pluto are going to conjunct, well, now on the 24th, and then on the 26th, the 24th through the 26th. Then on the 29th, let me move this to the 29th for you guys. Then on the 29th, so the next 2 days. So those are very intense 3 days, 4 days. the 17th through the 22nd, then you have the 24th, and then the 29th through the 30th. This is going to be another intense day. We have the full moon in Scorpio. So the full moon in your 4th house of lineage, your 4th house of understanding, your 4th house with your siblings, your 4th house with your DNA, why you came here, what are you doing, how come you do the things that you do, you know, where is my home, where am I finally going to feel satisfied and okay? Like, that's what you're really trying to understand. With this full moon, full moons are about letting go, releasing, so that your abundance can come in, so that your peace can come in, so that your happiness can come in. And when you work in this and do this, Jupiter is going to bless you. Jupiter wants to give you gifts. Jupiter wants to expand this in you. Okay? And so on the 29th, when this happens, again, I have that video of how to release, what to do to work in this energy to help you. So not only do we have the full moon in Scorpio, but the full moon is going to sextile Saturn. So it's going to give opportunity with this house and this house, right? So something's going to come about that gives you the opportunity, but you have to take the action. Then you have the full moon, then you have the sun trining Saturn. So the sun trining Saturn, the sun is again in your 10th house. The sun is going to be bringing opportunity in your career that you've been working really hard at. Saturn says, if you're working hard, I'm going to give you your hopes and dreams. If you're responsible, I'm going to give you your hopes and dreams, and I'm going to give you more than your hopes and dreams, right? And so that could be coming about where there's an opportunity and you see the light and there's some clarity, or somebody comes to you, or a business partner comes to you, or you get an opportunity in something, or maybe in your life purpose. Whatever this is, something is going to come about to give you the opportunity. Then you have Jupiter conjunct the full moon. This is where they're speaking to each other. We spoke about that. That's all on the 29th. And then Neptune is going to trine the full moon, right? So emotionally, you're going to come to a place, instead of reacting, you're going to begin to act, right? And that means, instead of thinking everybody's against you, instead of thinking you're always going to be hurt, you're going to come to this understanding. I'm not saying that that's going to be now. I'm saying this is what's been going on with you. And it could be the culmination of that on the 29th, where you have this understanding of, I can give to the world and I can keep part of myself. I can be in balance with that, right? That's Neptune and the full moon trining. That's an opportunity for you to understand this. Then Neptune on the 30th is going to sextile Saturn. That means opportunity as well. So opportunity sextiling Saturn brings these big opportunities in your 6th house and your 8th house of other people's money. So not just other people's, with other people's money, that could be a lot of things. Like, maybe you finally get that speaking engagement, or maybe you finally get that part, or maybe you finally get that position where you're going to get to travel and you're going to get to speak and you're going to get to be a part of, you know, a community, a society, you know, whatever this is going to be culminating of the things that you've been working on. All right, Leo, so I think it's a beautiful month for you guys. You've got a lot coming in. I like this 10th house being activated for you. I like the 11th house of gains being activated for you. So I'm going to walk over to where the tarot is. Let me make this bigger. So I bought a new tarot deck. I've been waiting for this tarot deck. I wanted to show you guys that I do love tarot. I just don't think it's the only thing. Okay, so give me just a second. Let me walk over there. This is by my favorite illustrator. He's the one that did the Tarot of Dreams, and he's done this one. So enjoy. Hold on. Pardon my mic because I have to move away and then pick it up. All right, Leo. So I did the spread last month. I'm going to do it again. This is your present position in the month of April. This is your challenge and Spirit's advice. This is your fated destiny stuff coming in, and this is where you're headed. This is what's going on with you. This is like the theme, the outcome of what's going on, okay? So in your first position, these are beautiful, beautiful cards. So you have the Star. Some of you have met an Aquarius. I could feel that. others of you, this is you understanding, being fulfilled, almost like being in the zone for some of you, being in the matrix or the field, or that connection with source, that connection with the other realms, that connection with your higher self, like really being aligned and understanding the alignment, like understanding where you want to be placed in the alignment, right? So I feel like things are going your way. I feel like source, God, oneness, your higher self is shining their light and bringing gifts to you. I feel like you're in a much better space than you have been, and I feel like you're not content, but you're a little. I mean, I see you smiling. You're happy. You know you can be happier. You want to be happier, but you're happy. So this goes on in the month of April. This is your position now. This is your challenge. Your challenge is the 8 of coins or the 8 of pentacles. So the challenge is that balance. I'm seeing the balance with you guys. Like, you know how to work really hard, and you know how to play really hard, and you know how to rest really hard. And so you're trying to find the balance of that. And so the challenge is getting back into that, how do I say this? Getting back into that spinning wheel, that force, that, you know, learning something and making it bigger, and, you know, like, you understand that that expels so much energy, and it takes a lot of attention away from you and your family and your friends, and you want to be able to balance all that. And so there is something also for some of you that's a challenge that you're really, really trying to figure out. See how he's really looking, he's really studying, he's really trying to understand. And so what you're at an 8 with this, so what happens is you can get so involved in trying to understand that you don't realize that you do understand, because you're so focused on the very, very details of things, right? And so you can miss the big picture when you're focused on the details. You have to learn to take a step back and look at the big picture as well as the details. That's what you're trying to do. I'm seeing this balance thing with you guys. Okay, so in your third position, this is your fated stuff. This is your destiny. This is what's going on next. So you have the Fool. The Fool, I love the Fool. The Fool is 0 point energy to me. The Fool is like taking his being so I'm seeing a lot of things, being like in this childlike sort of space where you're like excited for adventure, and you have the world at your hand, and it's about going in and discovering you, and going and discovering life, and going and discovering people, and going and discovering society. And so you're at the 0 point where you're going to have that again, where you are going to have that zest for life and smile and really be happy and really be content. And like, as soon as this stuff is letting go, especially in this full moon for you, I feel like you're going to be moving into that direction. And so when you get to the Full, you can be catapulted into any direction. That's up to you. But when the reason that you haven't been and you're in the Full position is because you have all this other stuff weighing you down. But you guys have been working through that stuff. And so as you release things, this is going to put you in a position where you're like, I want to go there. I want to experience that. I want to have that relationship. I want to do that. And when you do that, it's like, you can do it. Like, it's easy. It just comes to you, right? Because where you're getting to is the Emperor. So for some of you, this is a person coming in. And for some of you, this is that relationship. This is that structure. This is that wise person. This is the person that's not going to take advantage of you. This is the person that you've been not waiting for. Well, there were times where you waited, and then you got frustrated and didn't wait, and then you started waiting again, and then you just decided to like let it loose, right? So this person is coming in. For others of you, I feel like this is you. The Emperor is a wise person who's been through a lot and built a dynasty. He's built a structure, but he understood, and he understands now. He didn't always when he first began building it, that it takes a village, it takes society, it takes people helping, it takes more than just him, because he wanted it that way anyway. He wanted to build the community, he wanted to build the dynasty, he wanted to build his empire, right? And he understands his love for each and everyone that has their position in this empire. And that's where you're headed. Not doing it alone, not doing it where it's such a struggle, but having everybody have their part so that you can all be this community, this dynasty that you have. All right, my gorgeous ones, let me put my mic down, go back to my seat. So I hope you like that. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Again, I'm going to give you guys 24 hours to be able to order for me the 30-minute tarot readings. And also I'll have everything in the description box or at the end of this video. Have a great, wonderful month. I love you, love you, love you. Bye.